We've already tested the latest Porsche 911 and we know just how good it is. If you've got around £80,000 to spend on a sports car, the 911 is the default choice. But let's see how it gets on track. Okay, so we all know how much we love the new 911, but let's just see what it's like when we head out onto track. So here we are at Anglesey. Now this car's got everything in the sportiest setting, so dampers in the sportiest setting, throttles in the sportiest setting. I've got the stability control turned off, PDK in the manual mode, and we'll see how the Porsche gets on around Anglesey. Now it's quite a tricky circuit, Anglesey. It's very technical, so it's kind of good. It really suits a car with good traction, so it should suit the 911. So we're going to come around now. I've got a bit of heat in the tyres, come up to the hairpin, and we'll start a flying lap on the exit of this hairpin. So it's about over 100 miles an hour down to the hairpin. This car hasn't got the ceramic brakes, so we've got to be a bit wary of the braking into the hairpin. So second gear, out of the hairpin, lovely, lovely traction, up to third. Now we're going to go across the line and start a flying lap. Across the line, hard braking here into the first corner, third gear, balance the throttle, and then here it's really tough corners. It keeps climbing uphill, so watching a little bit of understeer on the exit there. So that's costing a little bit of time. Hard braking over the brow of the hill, but into these tighter, slower corners, the front end's amazing, really good traction. It's just so beautifully balanced. You can feel the weight transferring around as you go on and off the throttle. It's just beautiful. So the PDK gearbox has got quite a long ratio. So through there, it's actually second gear, third on the exit, and same for this next corner. If truth be told, it's probably not the perfect ratios for this track layout, but you know, the PDK itself is fantastic. Really crisp shift on the upshift, nice downshift blip. And when you're on the track and it's in the manual mode, you know, it doesn't kick down when you don't want it to because you're using all the revs. It's pretty good actually. And then here into the hairpin, great traction on the exit. It's just a joy to drive this car. Sounds fabulous as well. I've got a sports exhaust, it just sounds awesome. Go across the line and there we go, that's the end of the lap. Every generation of 911, it just, you think it can't get better, but somehow they just seem to engineer more grip, more balance, more power, more performance. So there we go, what a fabulous car. So the new 911 is staggeringly good, no surprises there. But is there anything British to take on Germany's finest sports car? Sorry, but in all seriousness, it isn't the most obvious of 911 rivals, but it's got similar power and a similar price tag. And I've never driven a Morgan. If you wondered about the outfit, it's a Morgan. Thought I should make an effort. Tally-ho. Now the first thing you notice about the car, it's got an automatic gearbox, so you can put it into a sort of manual mode and use the lever down here to shift gears. But it's a little bit slow, which isn't great when you're on a track. Now, lots of power. You can make it slide around a bit if you want to get some heat in those rear tyres. You can be a bit of a hooligan like that and sort of get on the throttle, a bit of a slide. It's not that progressive when it slides, but it's a proper manly car. There's no traction control. We have got ABS though. Okay, so we're going to come and start a flying lap now up to the hairpin, so down to second gear, turn in, reasonably positive initial turn in, hard on the power as we come out of the hairpin, change up and plenty of noise, big roar from the engine, lots of heat coming back as well, up to the first corner, just about 120 miles an hour down to third gear. You have to wait a bit before you get into third, and then through these long corners there's lots of tyre grip, but there's just no feel of what's going on through the steering. Steering is pretty awful really. I think you can start to feel the chassis twisting, and there's not a lot, the steering weighting changes as you load the car up. traction's not great as well. When the car's loaded up, there's quite a lot of body roll, and with that body roll, it wants to sort of lean over and spin up the unloaded wheel. But again, reasonable tyre grip through these faster corners, just trying to feed the power in. Does sound good though. And then braking, it's pretty good stopping power, as I say, with your ABS. Not a lot of feel through the brakes, hard on the power here, trying to get the power on the exit. And again, as I accelerate up to the hairpin, there's a big wave of heat coming from that engine, hard on the brakes, down to second gear, get it turned in, reasonably good grip in the slow corners, on the power. When the car's straight and flat, traction's not bad. It's only when it's loaded up that you lose traction. Hard on the power, cross the line, and that's the end of the lap. So we've done a lap. Now, if I'm being brutally honest, a track battle between this car and the current 911, it's a bit like trying to ask a Tiger Moth to take on a Eurofighter. Really, it's got plenty of power and it's not lacking in performance, but driving on a track that hard in pursuit of lap time really isn't what this car's all about. So where this car excels is now driving at about 2/10, wafting along, enjoying the beautiful scenery, really engaging with that lovely engine in a very sort of sense of the past. You could spend that with £80,000, you could buy a very, very special classic car. So I've got to say, the Morgan's not really my cup of tea, but I can see why people love them, because it's got some character. Cheerio.